All right, now we're gonna talk a little bit about wet fields. What do you do if you show up to your field and it's rained the night before or just got done raining and there's puddles on the field, something like that? Let's first talk about the easiest way to get you in playable condition is to get the water, the standing water off the fields. The easiest way to do that is either going to be a shop vac or a hand pump, something like that. But you got to get that standing water off the fields. You're not going to be able to get every last bit of it off the field, but if you can get 95% of it off out of the puddles, you're going to be a lot better off. It'll be a lot easier. So let's say it rains overnight. You know you have a game that evening. If you can come out in the morning and suck that water off the field by, say, 10 o'clock in the morning and give it a chance to dry throughout the day, and then you show up around 4 or 3 or 4 whenever you can, and then hand rake the fields, you'll be good. It'll be a lot better chance of playing than just showing up and trying to get the water off then. So the earlier you get the standing water off, the better. And then what we encourage you to do is just take the rake and just like, it'll be muddy of course, but just take it and put some lines into that mud so it has increased surface area to dry. The more you can do that and get some air to that dirt, it's gonna dry a lot faster. And then you just gotta play the waiting game. What you do not wanna do, and I've talked with Harold, who works for the city that's in charge of the fields and everything out here, what you do not wanna do is take this rake and turn it over, or not even turn it over, but you don't want to scrape all that mud out to the sides. If you do that and scrape the mud out to the sides to get to where the clay is, then it turns into a giant fishbowl over time, and that's why there's always water at third base, second base, and first base, because people always do that, and then especially home plate too. So if you just don't take the dirt and move it to the sides, just let it stay where it is, and you can come out and turn it over every 15, 20 minutes or whatever, a couple hours. Just keep raking it and turning it over, but don't move it out to the sides. Leave it where it is, and then that'll be your best bet to let it dry. Another thing you don't want to do is come out to a game, and just dump a bunch of turf dry into the puddles. It's not going to work. You got to get the puddles out. So again, just get the standing water off the field first. Rake it lightly, get some increased surface area in the dirt, and then turn it over every once in a while as much as you can. I know most people are not going to be able to stay out the field all day before a game, but the more chances you have to do that, the better chances you'll have to play. And then if you do need a bag of turf dry right before the game starts, maybe 20 minutes before the game starts, and there's still a little bit of damp area in front of the base or something, you can go ahead and use that. But field dry, turf dry, whatever you want to call it, isn't going to fix a field that's been neglected all day. You can't just dump it into a puddle and expect it to make it playable. So that's for the wet fields. If there's any questions about if you should be playing on it or not, if you're walking across or your players are walking across the field and leaving footprints, or there's mud on their feet, probably need to call the game. Otherwise we'll tear up the fields. It makes it worse. So